Okay. Let me just make sure that I was doing some recording earlier using Streamlabs, and I changed the, what's the word? The tracks. And that's what messed me up last time. You couldn't hear my thing. So I'm going to just double check that you can hear. Okay, that's fine. And then my microphone. Yep. Yep, that's fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, how are we doing, guys? I see we've got Felix, we have Alloy. Which one are you talking about? I've made two now. I have the one that I just played, and then I've got I've got this one. And this one does go hard. This one does go really hard in my opinion. I didn't make a new background for it. I was short on time. Also, I needed to make a background that wasn't purely Destiny, so that I could use it for other games if I was streaming other games. But the mix of music is really good. Oh, by the way, if you hear like a rumbling in the background, that's the clothes, like that's the washer downstairs. Yeah, no, the music is really good in this intro. This was the intro I played yesterday. I actually made it yesterday too. And yeah, if you guys want to like know the names of the songs I used, or you want to listen to this in your own time, I made this its own video, so you can check that out. But yeah, I know. It's all good. It's all good. Yep, and like I said, it's really annoying. My parents turned on the dryer downstairs, and so there's probably gonna be like a rumbling. I'm actually gonna check how much longer it's gonna be on for. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about that. I'm back. It was basically done anyway, so I just like, finished it off. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, the clothes dryer is right underneath my room, And so there was like this really like loud rumbling in the background, and I could tell that the microphone was picking it up. So, yeah, we're all good. We're all good. But yeah, before I get into things, how has your guys' day been? Um, what have you guys been up to? For me, I have been just I've been just grinding, man. Pretty much every day for the last, I don't know how many days now. I've just been editing and making stuff. Uh, yeah, redecorating the house. It's taken 2 weeks so far. Yikes. Yeah, that can be quite the process. Oh, actually, Alloy, before I forget, I watched your one last time video, like trailer montage thingy. It's really good. Um, it's really good. You definitely have the talent for it. I like the way that you chose the shots and you timed it with the music and all of that. It was really well done. So, yeah, you did a really great job, man. Mine is terrible, and not just one day, working on a scientific... I can't see because of the stupid heart thing on the track. Here we go. Mine is terrible, and not just one day, working on a scientific article and historical book review. Both are painful. Ooh. Yeah. That does sound painful. I've been playing Halo Infinite, Fall Guys, Destiny 2, and doing college homework. What are you doing for college, Clone? I didn't know you were in college. Maybe I'll go back to Halo Infinite. I don't know. I've heard it's getting better, but we'll see. And Fall Guys is a fun game. Actually, I'm curious. By the way, I know I usually just get into it straight away, but I'm kind of... But yeah, no, I've made a few videos now today. I think I made 4 videos in total. And the first main thing anyway that everybody could see, I made the video announcing the members and the memberships, and then I made the video that just came out now that we're going to talk about, and then I made I will uploaded 2 different videos then. But yeah, that was my day. It wasn't too good, but I'm glad. Ah, dude. Okay. Okay, dude. You're starting to sound like me now. Okay. It was great. It was really good. I certainly will. I certainly will. We're just getting started, hopefully. But yeah. With that being said, I think I'm going to get into it now. And for anybody who's here who doesn't know the way things be and the way things do, and for college, I'm in multi 400 and life drawing. Okay, I need to look up what multi 400 means real quick. I'm sorry, I need to educate myself. Ooh, for art. Or that's not art. Or is it art? No, it's a I am actually such an idiot. Sorry. I saw brush, right? I saw brush. It's brush sander. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not art. Sorry, it's... I mean, maybe somebody thinks it is, but... No, I know what you mean now. But anyway, for those who haven't been here before and they don't know how it works, this is the extended discussion of the video that came out today. Well, the one about the title, right? And I'm going to go as in-depth as possible. let's be real, guys. It was a short video, very short topic. It kind of just needed to be talked about. I just needed to say it. But it is a short video, short topic, so it shouldn't take too long. And then afterwards, when I'm done my spiel, we just hang out and we chill. But normally, when I'm in my thing, I don't really look at the chat because I'm kind of in the zone. But yeah, I'm gonna bring up the first picture. Bring up the first picture, guys. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, this is like concept art of the Ahamkara, and presumably it's the Great Hunt. Hard to say. I would say so. But yeah, Season of the Wish came out yesterday, and I played through the first story on stream, and I've played a little bit. I played a little bit more today for recording background footage, and overall my impressions were actually somewhat. It's okay. It's definitely not as like, oh my goodness, this is really good, the way that Season of the Witch was coming out. I think that it has potential. Now, for those of you who like are into leaks, right? I know some leaks about like the season, but nothing story-wise. Okay, so like when I say like, oh, there's a lot of potential between Crow and the Queen and whatever. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think there is potential for the story to actually be good. But that being said, the story overall has been very much overshadowed, in my opinion, by the fact that we do know what's going to happen. And this has always been the case with fourth seasons. Season of Arrivals, we knew the planets were going to go bye-bye. And Season of the Lost, we knew Savathûn was going to get the light. And Season of the Seraph, we knew that Neomuna was going to happen, I guess. But I think it's a little bit different because, how do I say this? Season of Arrivals, the pyramids were here, and we were getting hyped up for an alleged pyramid ship expansion. And so even though we already knew that we were like gonna lose the planets, if I remember correctly, each weekly story mission wasn't about like trying to stop the planets from getting taken, because we knew that was going to happen anyway. It was mainly about learning more about the pyramids, right? And the cradle, and it was actually really interesting. And then also you had the interference from Savathûn and Nokris speaking. So it was still really interesting. Season of the Lost, we already knew that Savathûn was going to get the light, but at the same time, we were rescuing the Technians, and we were reclaiming the ley lines, which was really valuable for the Dream City. And of course, there was always like the chance that something with Xivu would happen, or something with the curse would happen. It was still very much, I guess, captivating. In Season of the Seraph, I'm going to be honest with you, as much as people liked Season of the Seraph, story-wise, the season was a dud. The only thing interesting about Season of the Seraph for me was Clovis, and I think he's a really interesting character. But the actual story was kind of eh, and the only thing that was kind of interesting apart from Clovis was the ambiguity about what was going to happen, because all we knew was that Neomuna was going to happen, but we didn't actually know how we were going to get there or how we were going to figure it out. And even that was kind of underwhelming when you think about it, but we still didn't know how we would figure things out. The main thing with Seraph was really just the gameplay for me, and the really big boy mission with the exotic at the end. With this, it's really unfortunate because we know that we're going to get into the Traveler, right? And yet it seems like the whole season is going to be, oh, You need to go get all my eggs, or else I'm not going to let you get into the Traveler. You gotta go get the eggs, or else I'm not gonna let... Bro, I know I'm going into the Traveler. Do you think I care about your eggs? I already know. Like, I know. Like, this is just busy work, okay? And I think that this is really going to overshadow the story as a whole. I think anything juicy with Mara and Crow, or anything like the stuff between Crow and Osiris, anything that has nothing to do with Riven or the Wish and the Traveler, right? That is actually going to be interesting, and I think that's going to be what people gravitate more towards. But I think overall, the general story regarding the Wish and the Traveler, it's already done. It's already done. Okay? We already know the Wish, who made it, what the combination is. We literally made it. Like, we made the Wish in the wall. And now it's just the filler. Now it's the excuses. Now it's the padding to make it all drawn out. And I think people are really going to feel it. I think they're really going to feel it. But anyway, apart from all of that, initial impressions were, you know, somewhat okay. From a story perspective, it was okay. I think it has potential. We'll have to see. But that being said, I do want to talk about the main focus of today's discussion, which is I do think that Bungie has messed up the lore. And, oh, sorry. Let me just check something. And what I'm actually going to do is really quickly, I'm actually going to check my comments. And I'm going to see if anybody disagrees with me about that video. Because people actually disagreed with me about the 9. Me calling them out. And they were like, they can't interact with you know, physical stuff that much. So, you know, I don't know why you're mad at them. And that would be true, except there are kind of instances where they have. So it's a bit more messy, but I'm actually curious, has anybody... Are people saying that I'm being unreasonable? Let's put it like that. Okay. We're getting out of the Light and Darkness saga with this one. Okay. Right. Nobody's commented on that yet. So I don't know if people are going to think that I was unreasonable or if I'm making good points. But in my opinion, I do think that Bungie is kind of messing up Riven's story. And when I say that I think they're messing up her story, I think that they're kind of breaking the Ahamkara lore as a whole. And maybe I'm missing something. And I said that in my video. Maybe there's a workaround, or I don't fully understand. But like I actually, like, when I was writing the script, I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna make sure. And I looked some stuff up. I asked some questions on Google, and then found, you know, Reddit or other place where people talked about the exact question, like from 5 years ago, and then were like giving lore references and everything. And I personally think that I'm pretty much spot on in what I'm gonna say. So, in my predictions video, by the way, I actually got some stuff right about that, which is pretty cool. But in my predictions video, we didn't know if Riven was going to be a thing at all, right? I think a lot of people, myself included, were thinking that this egg was going to hatch or something. And that would be the Ahamkara. But in my predictions video, I said very clearly, Riven should be a valid Ahamkara to be in the season. Screw it. Why not have 2 Ahamkara in the season? And the reason why was very, very, very simple. It was basically planned that she would come back. This was all part of the plan. In Last Wish, you don't just kill her. You kill her, and then you go inside and you take her heart. Now, let's be honest, the heart was taken too, and so maybe like we needed to get the heart, because the heart was going to kill us, right? I don't know how, but it was. So we took the heart from Riven's body to the Techians and they purified it. But they didn't just purify it, they specifically said, like, Riven, architect of this city, return to us for the sake of plans to come. And I know I keep saying that over and over and over again, for the sake of plans to come, for the sake of plans to come. It's the description of the video, probably the description of the stream or something like that, I don't know. But you don't just put lines like that in the game and then you don't do anything with them. You just don't do that. And here's the issue. In case somebody says, well, you know, this way that they've done it, it still fits that planet that they're talking about. By them purifying Riven's heart, they are saying that she has returned to them. And she does, because then she talks to us. And she says that we're inseparable now. We have an age-old bond. So she's back. She's basically been purified, and yes, she's not an actual dragon now, but she's alive. Because again, and I'll get into this, the Ahamkara live on in their bones. And the way that they've done it now is that, first of all, they just let Riven's body just lie there for 5 years. There's no chance that they ever would do that. I'm going to call Bungie out on that. There is no chance that the Awoken were going to let Riven's body just lie there for 5 years, bro. First of all, you're telling me that they don't decay, right? Imagine the smell from there. Oh, boy. Second of all, you're really not concerned that some Bingus is going to go over there and, you know, chip away at her tooth and then make a wish? Or, like, clip her nail and make a wish from that? Really? Really? I said this in my video. Excuse me. I said this in my video that when Ikora and Eris killed the Ahamkara during the Great Hunt, they made sure, I didn't say this in the video, but they literally, like, I know Ikora did, summoned a lightning storm of light to destroy all the bones. And the bones were whispering as they did it. I'm not saying that they should have destroyed her body. They just move it. Move it. Cut it up into bajillion pieces and then move it. Like, I'm not, like, let's be realistic about it. So I'm calling them out for that. That's really, really silly in my opinion. But then, to get Riven back, we have to take out her tooth? Now, in my opinion, the only reason this tooth is in the game at all, as a plot point, is just so they could make it into the artifact. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason. And there's not even just one tooth, it's like 2 teeth. 3 teeth. We bring the tooth back. And by the way, can I just say, I was very surprised to hear that the Vex were involved this season. And it kind of makes sense that they're involved. It's the Black Garden Vex, the Soul Divisive, the guys, the Leafy Boys, and presumably the Witnesses getting them to try and interfere with us. But, yeah, that was kind of, I mean, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that. But, we bring the tooth back. And to get Riven back, the Techians have to strain their magic just to, like, maintain a connection with her. And she's like a ghost now. And she's dead. She's like, I am dead. I am good for one last wish. Do you think this has anything to do with what the Techians were saying when they purified her heart? And then Riven was talking to us? I really think that this is a continuity error. I think Bungie straight up either forgot or retconned that story. Now listen, Bungie can retcon whatever they want. It's their story. But I happen to care about that story. And I don't like it when things happen to the story that seem to not really respect it. They put it like that. So that's the one error in the lore, right? The heart has been completely forgotten about. No mention of it whatsoever. This is the heart. And I don't know. I guess it just doesn't suit the narrative now. I don't know how, but... And yeah, that's really the big thing. And it annoys me when they do this. They did this with the Taken Egg with Mara. So back in Season of the Lost, when you were in like the hub area where Savathun was imprisoned or encased, whatever, there actually was a taken Ahamkara egg there. Nothing ever happened with that. We have no idea what happened. So anyway, long story short, Riven's story from a continuity standpoint, in my opinion, has been very severely compromised. Okay? And, listen, is it the end of the world? No, it's not. But in my opinion, like, this is a really basic thing. Riven doesn't have much of a story. The last time Riven was relevant was literally the end of Last Wish Raid. So you would think that when they were making the story, they would go back to that, and they would see that dialogue. So either they literally forgot about the heart, or they chose to ignore it and retcon it. Either way, it's still really weird. It's really, really weird. And then we come to the second part. And this affects the Ahamkara as a whole. Riven is dead. But she isn't dead. She lives on in her bones. And literally, like, I can think of so many examples from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 where the bones themselves are really, really relevant. So anyway, this picture here, right, this is Hugin. Or Munin, sorry, there's two of them, Hugin and Munin. Yeah, like, literally, ignores you. This thing knows that you're there. It's alive, right? These are in the Dreaming City. I show it in my video. And, yeah, you can literally make bargains with them. And the thing is, even if you want to be really technical and like, well, Riven just can't do any more wishes. But these aren't wishes. It doesn't matter. They're still interacting. I don't need to have 5 Techians to strain the limits of their magic to be able to communicate with this creature. I could break off this little chunk here and probably still have this prompt come up. And that's the key thing with the Ahamkara. So I'm going to give you some examples now where this is the case, right? Really easy example from Destiny 1 was, of course, this here. And I wanted to make sure. Like, I was like, yeah, like, Eris's rock is an Ahamkara bone, right? Like I know that, but like, it's been a while since I checked. I'll just double check it. Literally, you just Google it, people are like, oh my goodness, this lore confirms that it's an Ahamkara rock. Or Ahamkara bone. And then sure enough, the key to how she got this was because of the Ahamkara bone. And, yeah, like, in my opinion, even though in the lore, the written lore, it doesn't specifically use the word wish, I do think there was a bit of a bargain. It was more of a, like an emotional, like a feeling kind of bargain where she's holding this bone in one hand, she's stuck in the Hellmouth, her ghost is dead, because it's been drained of its light by Crota's eyes, or whatever the things were, and she's holding the bone in one hand, her dead ghost in the other, and she really wants to get out. And she's holding on to these two things tightly. And the lore specifically states that that's her, like, last trick up her sleeve. So she wasn't just, like, holding onto the bone, you know, for what... She took the bone out and was holding these two objects with intention. And then sure enough, boom. Okay? That's one example. Another example, and I can't like really bring it up. I didn't. There's like no picture for it, but I think it's Lavinia or whatever her name was. The Cryptarch who was like obsessed with the Nine, and who interrogated Zur. She really. So this is from Season of the Drifter, Forsaken era. She was a Cryptarch who really wanted to know about the Nine. And so she, like, went through all the records and interrogated Zur, which is really funny. And in the end, she literally got caught, I think, trying to, like, smuggle. Either she got caught with the bone, or she got caught trying to smuggle the bone into the city or out of it. I can't remember. But either way, she, you know, kind of got expelled. And, yeah, like, just the bones are very much seen as important objects. If the bones weren't able to grant wishes, if the bones weren't, like, if the Ahamkara weren't alive in the bones, there wouldn't be this fear around them, right? And yet, and yet Riven is dead. And she's good for one last wish. And the only reason she's able to communicate at all, is because of Techian magic. That's it. It breaks the Ahamkara lore. So that's the second part of it, which is that, yeah, so Riven's continuity has been compromised with the heart completely out of the picture now. And second of all, the whole Ghost Riven, I'm dead, I'm only good for one last wish, it's also kind of breaking the Ahamkara lore, in my opinion. Final point. Or second final point. The narrative surrounding her eggs is very much not the direction that I wanted it to go. It feels like they made this up last minute, it doesn't feel natural, and it doesn't feel like this was planned. And I literally, I know if a Bungie writer is ever gonna watch this, he or she is gonna be like, bro, give me a break. You don't know how hard my job is. Dude, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bully. I'm just saying, like, I have to say it how it is, okay? I have to say it how it is. I'm saying it with all compassion and respect, but it is what it is. And, yeah, so, like, Riven saying, oh, I refuse to grant this wish. Well, first of all, let's talk about a few workarounds here. First of all, it's not our wish. It's Savathun. Why don't we just resurrect Savathun? Well, she is resurrected. We resurrected her at the... Isn't that interesting, guys? We resurrected Savathun at the end of last season. She's alive, and there's no mention about her. Okay, cool. We should have just brought her to Riven and made her be like, listen, I made the wish. This is my wish. Do it. There's a good chance Riven would have been like, okay, cool, fine. Second, Riven's like, you have to collect all my eggs or else I will not let you go into the Traveler. Somebody said this on Reddit, and I completely agree with them. Do you know what I would have been like? I would have been like this. Either you let me into the Traveler right now, or I will spend every single day that I am not in the Traveler searching for your eggs. And every day that you do not let me go into the Traveler and you do not fulfill my wish, I will destroy your eggs. I will destroy all of them. And if that means I don't get to go into the Traveler. Doesn't matter. If you're not letting me go in anyway, then who cares? We both lose. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. Just be like, do you know what? If, like, you let me into the Traveler right now, and then when I come back, I will go and get your eggs. Think about it. No, just think about it. We go into the Traveler. We stop the Witness. We have time to go look for the eggs. Sure. Of course. Also, why does it have to be us? No, I want you to actually think about it. They have the whole system figured out. We went to the lair the first time. We assumed the whole clutch would be there. They weren't. Literally 15 minutes later, they literally figure out the exact system of how these eggs are orbiting around in the ley lines, and we can predict when each one is going to be in perfect position. Okay, cool. You know exactly where they are. You know where they're going to be at what time. Why send us? Do you know what you do? Fine. Second option, or third option. You let us into the Traveler now. And while we're there, we will send people, and they will get the thing. They will get the eggs. Of course. Of course. And then she's like, no, I want you. Okay, fine. We go back to option number 2. I will go look for your eggs, and I will smash them. So, like, I'm not trying to be cheeky about it, but this excuse for the padding is very, very, very weak. It's very weak. It does not hold up. And so, yeah, it kind of makes the whole thing not enjoyable. And that is why I said in the beginning, the story has potential to be good. But this overbearing sense of, oh, this is just a chore and busy work because we already know what's going to happen, I think it's really going to ruin a lot of it. So anything that's not related to this, which is like, you know, Mara and Aldrin or Crow, and then Osiris or Drifter or anything else, that's going to be interesting. But this just feels like filler. And my final point, which, I mean, I don't know if I really have to explain it anymore, is why are they doing this? It's because this system of the seasonal storytelling. Which is that they have a concept, and so they stretch it out. So this was a perfect disaster. And I'm actually done showing pictures now, so I'm going to just go back to the other thing. This season is a perfect disaster, and I think it's like the tragic end of the seasonal model. Because, starting off, the way the seasonal stories work is that they will create a concept. And so, let's take Season of the Haunted. Okay? What is the concept of Season of the Haunted? It is us on the Leviathan looking for Callus. What is point A? Us getting onto the Leviathan and beginning to look. And I know people are, oh, but the nightmares and the... That's the therapy stuff. It doesn't matter at all. Do you think anybody remembers what Zavala's son's name was? It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Point A is us going onto the Leviathan and looking for Callus. Okay. What is point B? Point B is Callus getting to the Witness and escaping us. Okay, cool. So they have this concept, point A and point B. They now need to stretch that over the course of how many weeks that the story goes on for. Okay, cool. So, that is the first part. So with this season, the concept is point A, we have Savathun's 15th wish, and we're going to try and use that. And then point B is we successfully get into the Traveler. Okay. Now this is where it all falls down. First of all, because it's the 4th season, we already knew what the ending was going to be. Okay? When we were on the Leviathan in Season of the Haunted, I mean, like, no, Lightfall hadn't even been revealed yet. Lightfall was revealed with Plunder, so yeah, we didn't even know that Callus was really gonna do anything with the Witness or whatever. Maybe we would stop him, maybe we wouldn't, you know. With this, we just know, right? So, point A and B is gone. We know point B from day one. We knew point B from before day one. The second disaster, and the second reason why it's a disaster, is because they have point A and they have point B. What did I say? They need to figure out a way to make it stretch, point A getting to point B, make that stretch however many weeks they need. However many weeks the story will go on for. The second problem is that how do I say this? The second problem was that this concept of using the wish, there is no process. I said this before in a previous stream. It would have been better if the first half of the season was spent trying to decrypt what the code for the wish was from Savathun's wings. When you have the wish, that's it. I even said it would have been better if, for whatever reason, okay, you have the wish, but the wall doesn't work. And they could have done that, because every single wish you make, if I remember correctly, is technically while Riven is alive. They could have made it where, due to her no longer being directly connected to the wall, or maybe due to the curse. Sorry, the curse, that was it. The curse basically, every wish that you make, is technically before the curse happens. So maybe when the curse happens, it disrupts the connection to the wall or something, you know? So then the season is spent, okay, we have the wish, but we can't put it into the wall. The issue is that they didn't do any of this, and so that means that literally to go from point A to B, the whole story, there's no searching through the Leviathan and trying to find, it's literally go somewhere safe, put in the code, and get your result. So there's actually no reason why point A to B isn't one day. So here's the other thing you need to remember. You need to remember this. Bungie chose this story. This was not set in stone. Riven coming back might have been, but all of this, they chose this. So they've actually put themselves in this hole. So the first problem was that we already knew what the ending was going to be. Takes the anticipation out of it. The second problem is that the whole process of going from point A to B literally takes, normally, like 30 seconds. And so they're screwed. They have to make, so now they don't just have to make it stretch out. They have to start jumping through hula hoops to make that work. And then you have your third disaster, the third reason. The excuse doesn't work. And I've already explained why. It's very flimsy and it falls apart quickly. And people know that. And it's going to feel like busy work because it is. It really is. I want you to think about this. The Witness is inside the Traveler. We should have lost already, but it is what it is. And we're collecting Ahamkara eggs. That's the third reason. People don't like that. It's bad, right? It is bad, okay? It's really chore-filled and painful and all of that. Okay. That's the third problem. And then we have the fourth problem. Yes, there is a fourth problem. It's drip fed. And so you cannot make any real progress because it's it's an obligation and it's mandatory that they stop you. And you have to wait exactly a week. And so we put it like this. Let's just say you're a player and you are thinking about this. The season comes out and then you play the first mission, and now you know what the concept and the overall journey of the season is going to be, most likely. You already know how the season's going to end. You already know what's going to happen. You're annoyed because really you had the wish and it should have just taken you 30 seconds, but this excuse really clearly is an excuse for padding, and you can tell that they just needed to stretch things out. At the same time, the padding doesn't even have any real interest or enjoyment to it. There's no journey. It's just you doing somebody else's chores. And at the same time, it's very flimsy, and there are ways that you could have gotten around that. And finally, you can't even do it at your own pace. The world is kind of broken in the sense that if it was us, we would be literally doing it as fast as possible. And yet, we are told, okay, just wait. Just wait. And then we'll come back to you. Just wait. And you know what the worst part is? The worst part is that the season story ends before... And actually, this is the fifth disaster. This is the fifth disaster. The seasonal story always ends pretty much before the season does. Sure, maybe they'll like save one last cutscene for the very end, but there's like several weeks in between that. That's even worse for this, because the ending of this season is us going into the Traveler. And so what's theoretically going to happen is that we are going to get all of her eggs, or this story will be concluded before the season is done. And so we will end up getting the wish from her, and then we'll just have to sit. So let me put it like this. Not only did we lose in Lightfall, and the Witness got inside the Traveler, and we're expected to believe that the Witness couldn't get what it wanted in a year and a half of being there. But once we finally did get what we needed, because the season ends normally, even if you don't accept what I'm saying about the season story ending before the season does, the season's still going to end in February, and Final Shape comes out in June. Which means at best, you're talking about like 4 months of you having the ability to go inside the Traveler, and you can't. I didn't even think about this stuff when I was preparing to do this stream. This wasn't even in my mind. But when you really break it down, this was the perfect storm. This story shows every single flaw in the seasonal model. And the beautiful irony is that Bungie did choose it. So not only is this a story that is going to feel like filler, not only is this a story that shows all of the flaws of the seasonal model, but in the process of them having to come up with this, they also compromised the narrative, I guess, integrity of Riven, and they also borderline broke the lore of the Ahamkara. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? So that's my thoughts on that. That's why all of this happened, and that's the perfect storm of the... honestly, I could have made this its own video, guys. But, maybe I'm being too harsh, I don't know, but... Anyway, that's everything that I have to say about Bungie with Riven and the Ahamkara and this seasonal story. And, like, listen, I'm not excited for this season. I was until I played it yesterday. It has potential. I am open to being pleasantly surprised. We will see. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So, with all that being said, GG. GG. And yeah,
I always say GG, so I know where to end the editing for the VOD.
Okay. So now I'm just gonna chill with you guys. I actually got really into that. That's crazy. I just can't believe that that happened, bro. I can't believe that happened. The way they did this season. It's nuts, man. Crazy. Okay. Let me pull up the chat. Let me see what you guys be saying. Oh, Felix. Okay, dude. Okay, this is some... I'm going to tell you guys something that I've never told you before. Okay? Let me tell you something that I've never told you before. Let me find it. That is the infamous phrase. Let me find it. 2 hours later. He said he was going to find it, and he never did. By the way, I am going to remaster this. I'm going to remaster this video. The Beyond Light narrative review. I am going to remaster it. I'm going to fix it. Because it really bothers me. That video is the most... That was, I think... I don't know how many days of editing straight just to make that. So... Yeah. But anyway... I can't find what the original thumbnails were, but, back in the day, when I made the Eldritch Theory... I wanted to make more really big... kind of theory projects. And so I said... that I was going to make one about the Nine and the Ahamkara. And the code names for them were Project Predator and Project Needle. The reason why it never happened was this. First of all, I actually wasn't as interested in them as I was the pyramids. The pyramids are vastly more important to the narrative than either of those two. The second thing I realized is that there's just not any information about them other than written lore. Most of the information in the Eldritch Theory, yes, it came from lore and me putting things together, but I used the environment, I used concept art, all of that. You can't really do that for the Nine or the Ahamkara. The Nine you can with architecture and the environment, but the whole point of the Nine is that they are, you know, they use their stuff for foreshadowing. Now, maybe there is something to be said for possible connections between them and the pyramids. But that's about it, and it's very, very vague. Bro, if I made a video about that, I would get called out for sure. But anyway, but that's basically why. I've realized, like, what am I going to talk about? The only thing that's there is the written lore, and that's the beauty of the pyramid stuff. They're the only faction that most of the information is not in the lore; it's in the world. So, yeah. I'm sorry if you heard that burp. My bad. Back then in Beyond Light, I liked the filler stuff until I reminded myself I was... Yeah. You could nearly forgive it until you realize that the marketing was just completely... Yeah. And I know... I say it every single time. Yes, I know I smash on Beyond Light every single time, but I don't think people actually understand how much bad it did and how much harm it did to the narrative. It's okay if you liked it, right? I'm not gonna like you because of it, but it's okay if you. I'm joking. It's okay if you like it, but that doesn't change like the consequences that it had. The thing that got me most excited this season was the new Veil dialogue. Are you on about the Veil containment? I heard that there was something about that. I don't disagree, but I do think that Riven being taken out of physical death could have been. Again, I see what you're saying, Alloy, but just the fact that the Techians were like, yep, this is part of the plan. You know? Cleansing her is gonna do what we need. Can we get rid of there you go. Also, I think Riven wants her species to live again without being dead in bones. No, and that's fair. And for the record, Riven wanting her eggs back is perfectly valid. Yeah, it's fine. It's just that we kind of have a bit more of an important situation going on, and her leverage is nothing. For the record, her leverage was gone the moment she told us that she had other eggs that were out there. Imagine trying to blackmail somebody by telling them that the thing that they had spent a lot of time destroying, there was more of them out there. It doesn't really work. I want to place an Easter egg in my story, but there's a chance people will see it as bait and foreshadowing. Felix, I'd like more information about that, but what I would say... What I would say is this. I think the most important thing is that you need to decide. So, okay, now I'm going to go a bit off. So, like, I'm really big into writing. And, basically, what I would say to you, Felix, is that when you're writing a story, if it isn't just like a short story or like just one novel, if it's like a continuing thing, and even if it's actually like just one book, depending on like how in depth it is, you will have different demographics of readers reading that piece. And you will have the people who just take it at face value and just read whatever, and they'll even miss a lot of the finer details. And then there will be people who will like analyze things, and they'll pick up on secrets or clues or foreshadowing. They'll pick up on that. And especially the people who like will reread stuff, you know? And so for your Easter egg, what I would recommend is you need to decide which demographic do you want this to be visible to. If you want it to be visible to just anybody, then what I recommend you do is you just make it very clear, because again, you don't want people to see, if I'm interpreting your message correctly and you do not want people to see it as foreshadowing, then that means you need to make it clear that there is nothing to come out of it. If this is going to be visible to just anybody, like anybody could pick up on this. If this is something that you want only like the people that are kind of like, you know, who have a tendency to catch on to these type of things, or like who would see it on a second read or third read, I don't really care, dude. It's fine. It's whatever. You know, you can always be a bit cheekier with that kind of reader. You understand what I mean? Hey Concept, how you doing, man? Thank you for turning up to the stream yesterday. We didn't really have many people, so I'm really glad that you were there. I really appreciate it. You can argue that teeth of wild animals have a long history serving as a symbol for humanity, especially in Africa. True, true. The shame Bungie is struggling because it's fixed. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. And again, like, when I call out bad writing, because I don't think people do this enough, right? I don't think lore creators do this enough. If they don't like something, they will either not say it, or they will just be like, oh, I don't like that this happened. I will say that it's bad writing. Because it is, right? There's a difference between a character acting in a way that fits their nature and that fits the story, and you disagree with it. Okay? I don't necessarily think... Okay, like, I kind of think that the Anna Bray comic was kind of bad writing, but her deserting Twilight Gap wasn't technically bad writing. because we didn't understand enough about the character, and so the comic was us learning more about her, and so technically her deserting, that actually confirms that this was in her nature, that it was something she was willing to do, and that priorities wise, her family came first. And so that actually isn't a writing issue technically. That's just me disagreeing with the character and then disliking the character. What I'm saying about the Ahamkara, it doesn't fit the world. It actually breaks the illusion of immersion, and it breaks the illusion of the real world. That it is a real world. And it's like, this is a video game. Somebody must have forgotten something. Somebody must have retconned something. That is when you kind of need to just say, okay guys, like, this is writing. Like, let's be honest about this. So I will call out that it is because of bad writing. But like I said, this isn't just like one author writing a book and he wrote a bad book. There's a lot of there's a history of there being conflict inside of the narrative team. This is not a controversial thing to say. I do not have any nervousness saying this. There is a track record, coming from the narrative team themselves, by the way, that there is conflict there. Mylan said the exact same thing when he worked on the whatever it's called, the lore books, the big boy real life books that you can get. And second of all, Bungie, like, they are forced to make a story for a product. Their creativity, in my opinion, is being limited. That is my opinion. That is just my raw opinion. You know what? If I was in the room with the writer, and the writer said to me, I had full creative freedom, and I decided to do Aramis as the focus instead of something Pyramid, I would say to them, you made the wrong decision, I disagree with you, and I am unhappy with the fact that you did that. Okay? There's a good chance that some of the things that we dislike are because of the fact that we just very much disagree with the decisions from the writers, and that's on them, okay? But there's other things that it probably wasn't their fault. Again, this is the example I always give. They could have made the best story possible for Beyond Light or some other expansion, and then they were forced to scrap it from somebody else. Or because of somebody else, okay? We just don't know how things work on the inside. At the end of the day, my raw opinion is I would not be surprised if they are creatively being restricted because of the model of how the game works, and potentially because of higher-ups. And so, as much as I will say that the writing will be bad, if it is, I'm not attacking the writers, right? I'm not like, oh, those writers, I hate them, fire them all. You know, I'm not going to say that, because at the end of the day, I actually sympathize with them. I do. But yeah, that's my take on that, right? Like, I will say if I don't like something, and I will say if I do think it is because of writing, as opposed to I just disagree with the character, or I dislike the character doing that. But yeah. Anyway. Destinypedia lists Riven's appearance this way after Forsaken, Opulent, Stoned, Witch Queen. Riven's appearances... Yeah, I don't know. That's okay. I don't even know like what was the point of her in Opulence? Also, she technically wasn't in Witch Queen. It was just a random Ahamkara. It was a random Ahamkara that was there. How is she in Season of the Witch? Just because she was mentioned, maybe? I don't know. Is Riven's heart not the thing we interact with in the Helm? I'm going to check that right now. I'm going to check that right now. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. I can break off a part to make a weapon. True. Bro, bad juju. Literally. Season feels like teeing up the Dreaming City. Yeah, but Errol, I'm completely fine with that. It's just that they need to go about it the right way. It is rather cheap and predictable, but I don't believe it really breaks the lore, just the writing. Exactly, Blair. Guys, Blair and I agree on something. That's when you know it's bad. Blair and I have joined forces in this one instance. Listen, break the lore, sure. It's just that it completely contradicts it. Can we agree on that? It completely contradicts it. Send Mara soldiers, or even other guardians, dude. Negotiations are hard, man. Destiny players won't handle anything which isn't... I disagree. I disagree. And I think Lightfall was proof of that. We're at the point, and I'm very... Destiny players are standing up and they're saying, we want good storytelling. We do. Can you imagine if everybody just gobbled up Lightfall and we were like, this is amazing? Go get my eggs. I will scramble those eggs. I will make the meanest omelet you've ever had. True. Yep. Pull all the eggs out. Bro. Just do it. Just do it. Right. Okay. No heart here. You can see my screen, correct? Yeah, you can. You're good. Okay. Oop. No heart here. Wait, heart here? No. What is that? What the frickety frackety is that supposed to be? Okay. In we go. Guys. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay. Guys. Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. It's a fake. It's AI 3D printed. You saw nothing. But my point still stands. Okay, fine. Fine. The heart is there. Cool. I didn't need Techian magic for her to speak to me. Stupid lizard. Bro, this stupid lizard. No, screw you, Riven. Dang it. Okay. I'm gonna, my girlfriend got this monstrosity and it's in their pet store. And this thing's a chunky boy. It's called a tegu. And these things are dinosaurs. Okay? I happen to like dinosaurs. Bro, This thing is cooler than Riven. I'll just say it. Let me get this beefy boy up. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at that. Wait a minute. Look at his dude. Look at that tongue, dude. That's a cool looking lizard. Anyway. Okay, maybe the heart is there. My bad. I apologize. I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. But a lot of my points still stand, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Perhaps the reason Riven Spirit is I don't know. Like, and again, like they could have like, and I'm open to that. But they could have said that. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the perfect summary was, but yeah. Imagine how horrible. Yep, true. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought there was. Oh, okay. Are you talking about the egg or are you talking about the heart? What is that supposed to be? Why are you Kirander, why are you emoting a jelly bean, bro? I'm gonna use one of my emotes. Like what? Why are you sending me jelly beans? Okay. How do I get rid of this? How do I go back? Talk about ghosts. Yeah. So Alloy. I don't know if you watched my one video, but I do have a. I think you. Yeah. Let's just say. Yeah. 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 Anyway. Yes. Ah, thank you, man. And I just appreciate you being here. Didn't the writing team majorly change? It depends on when you're talking about Kirander. Oh, by the way, I just realized I've got like no music playing in the background, like at all. Whoopsies. No, I do. Sorry, I do. Thank goodness I do have music playing. I just know that allegedly some people were fired after Lightfall, but after that, I don't know. I don't know. By the way, Blair, I am curious because you really disagree with everything I say for the most part, but you still watch, and I appreciate. Listen, I appreciate you being here. I really do. I just think it's funny, right? So I am curious. I'm curious. It's like, oh, I hate that guy. He makes some goofy theories, but let's watch him anyway. You know? But no, I'm glad you're here, man. And I'm glad we agree on this. I remember I was making this video, right? And I was like, I wonder what Blair's gonna say. Like, is Blair gonna, like, does Blair agree? Like, am I actually interpreting the lore right, or is this gonna be like another? But I got him. Yeah. Jelly bean. I don't like jelly beans, man. I don't like it. Am I going to play the new dungeon? Yes, I will play the new dungeon. I'm actually, I have a bit of a the ops in their room. No, I have no, listen, I have no issue with people disagreeing with me, or me disagreeing with people. I have no issue with, it's perfectly fine. I hate it when somebody has a theory and then they get attacked for it. Bro, I've had a guy once come and tell me that we were Nezarec. I didn't laugh at him. I didn't. I kind of felt bad for him, but I just was like, oh yeah, thanks for the comment, man. Yeah. But like you had like it's just a game, man. If you have your theory, you have your theory. It's yeah. But I have a bit of an issue because the dungeon comes out on Friday, and I know I'm going to be playing it at about 6 my time because I'm going to be doing it with Max, my friend, and he gets home from work about then. And Friday I'll be releasing a video, which, by the way, that video is going to be why we are the final shape. Which I just, you know what, can I fix this? Can I fix this a little bit? Oh, it's magic. And then I technically need to do the extended discussion for that as well, but I don't know how long the dungeon's going to take, so Friday might be, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I 100% I'm doing this dungeon, for sure. I want to. I will tell you this, guys. I have seen the armor. I wish I didn't see the armor. I will say it is better than Duality's armor, for sure. But it's... I don't... Like, why can't they make the dungeon armor good, dude? Why can't they do it? I don't understand. The weapons are usually good, you know? But it's like, I don't understand, man. What was the last dungeon we got again? Ghost of the Deep. The armor was amazing, and it's one... Either the weapons are amazing and the armor is stinky monkey, or the armor is great and the weapons are terrible, or whatever. Never said I hated you personally. I know you didn't. I know. Of course not. I know. And I don't hate you personally, either. Actually, I really like your delivery. Oh, thank you, man. Really appreciate that. But most of those theories are really out there. Okay. Most of my theories are really out there. This is my opinion on that. If you disagree with a lot of the theories that I have, because you believe that the things that I'm using to construct them are no longer relevant, or have since been retconned, I can still disagree with you, but I understand your perspective. But if your opinion is that my theories are out there because I am making them up out of thin air, then the burden of proof is actually on you, because I am basing my theories off of concrete lore. Now granted, these are my interpretations of the lore, but the lore is there nonetheless. And so, you know, I used to get kind of, I don't know, I've been getting a thicker skin lately, but especially when it came to the winnower and the gardener, people would come at me. But at the end of the day, I came to the realization that the burden of proof is actually on them. Listen, I don't have to prove anything. I've made my videos. I've spelled it all out, okay? And so, okay, do you want to say the winnower is stupid because it's been retconned. I disagree with you, but I see where you're coming from. Now, saying the winner where it never existed to begin with, the burden of proof is now on you. So that's kind of my opinion on that. The new dungeon armor.
Stinky poopy.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna use another. Wait a minute. This is my reaction seeing the dungeon armor. Yes, and the thing was, they did such a good job too. They did such a good job. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I agree. I'm like the Zivu of the Discord, the sleepy Zivu. Yes, you are. There's always a what if I'm wrong video. Yeah. Plus, it's good to have a hard critic. Would be rather boring if players. I agree with you, Blair. I agree with you. I know I do, for sure. I do. Listen, I at the end of okay, here's the thing about me. When I was younger, I used to do debating. And so I actually kind of like merge from just guy who loves writing and storytelling and stuff like that to like debater, okay? But at the same time, it's just a game, right? It's just for fun. So I can see it both ways where yeah, no, 100%, like it's boring when everybody agrees with you. But at the same time, it's like you gotta back it up. You know? I'm gonna tell you something, right? I'm gonna talk about Felix's video that he mentioned. And I have the thumbnail, so I'll pull it up. And I actually don't, you know, I don't really feel bad talking about this. So I will. Excuse me. So I made this video. For the record, this took me more time than it should have. That's all I'm going to say, and it was the bane of my existence. Okay, I want to talk about this. I made this video and I disappeared. When did I make this? No, I disappeared for like real life reasons, right? As well. What was the date? It was summertime of 2022. What was the video before that? Oh, I had done World Slayer. And I don't think I ever made this video either, actually. I literally... You know what's crazy, dude? I literally have the script. I made the script. I recorded the voiceover. I recorded the background footage. And I literally made the video, pretty much. And I never released it. How crazy is that? Oh, Lightfall had come out. Or had it? No, it hadn't. Sorry, it hadn't. It hadn't. Not yet. It had been revealed. Yeah. No, this was before the Lightfall reveal. Yeah, okay. So, let me tell you a little bit about this picture. I got to the point where many of my... pretty much all my focus was on Nezarec. And the reason why was the more I dug into the pyramid stuff on my own, the more Nezarec came up. And then the king and queen stuff happened and whatnot, right? Like, I mean, bro. Like, it's just his helmet, okay? Like, whatever. But, and the problem was that I was very confident, if not 100% confident, that the things that I was finding, this was like the original story of the character and the original story of the race, right? And then I began looking at the old leaks about, the original story about the race, and uh the first Destiny 2 cutscene, which nobody remembers, and I keep bringing it up. There's really big stuff in that. Really big stuff in that. And then I remember when basically Nezric's Whisper was released. And it implied that he was a disciple. And I said no. He is not a disciple, not just because I don't want him to be, but because it doesn't make sense. It does not fit the lore. His helmet's lore strictly goes against that. And I remember I made, what was the video? I made this video talking about how these two would potentially go at it, right? And I personally think that was the only real course of action that should have happened. And, but at the same time, I kind of could see the way Bungie was going. And in my opinion, like, no, I wasn't my, sorry, like, I had a gut feeling that just because, and then like you have the straight up freaking, like, the Church of Nezarec, like, bro. But even with all of this evidence and all of this stuff, right, I just had a gut feeling that it wasn't going to be respected, and that they could easily just retcon it just like that to fit whatever the new story was. And in this point in time, when I was making videos, I had pretty much slipped full on into debate mode. Full on. And the issue with this, right, being in debate mode is really handy. It enables me to write my scripts. It enables me to get my points across. It enables me to construct, I guess, not an argument, but I take the points together and then I present them. And it also enables me to pick apart somebody else's, I guess, criticism. Where it gets dangerous is that it makes me nervous to talk about anything. Now, I've been more open about this, right? But when I mentioned the Pyramid Whisper stuff at all, and I got, like, attacked for that, and I'm not trying to act like some, like wimp, like, oh, I was attacked, I was harassed, oh, the bullies on the, I'm not, I don't mean attacked like that. I just, like, when it went beyond, I disagree with you, to people trying to diagnose me with, like, schizophrenia or something, I became very reserved after that, and I was like, okay, I need to be careful what I say, because if I say something, and I literally, like, it got to the point where if I couldn't literally make my videos airtight, I wouldn't really want to make it, because if you say that I'm a bingus for believing in the Winnower, I can literally say, dude, I have all the lore to back me up. That is what you have to disprove, not me. If the burden of proof is on you, go ahead. But, if I don't have that, then I can get picked apart myself, right? And the thing is, right, this is a game. It's lore. There's no winners and there's no losers. This isn't a competition. But I was really scared, man. I was. I didn't, And so I made this video as like a what if. And so if in the end I was wrong, there wouldn't be some like major gotcha and whatever. Because listen, the other thing as well is that, like, I don't have any ego in this. I truly do not. I truly do not. And if, I want to be very clear, if at any point it appears as though I have an ego or that I am arrogant, it is not my intention, and I truly apologize for that. I do not have an ego in this. I'm not trying to act like I know everything, because I know I don't. I'm not trying to lead anybody on. I'm not trying to manipulate or misinform people. Like, that's not like what I'm trying to do, right? And I'm not saying any of you are believing that or saying that. I'm just saying like that is, you know. But what I was really afraid of is that if I continued making my videos and then like they were all just like in one fell swoop proven wrong, right? People would be like, "Oh, look at him. He was trying to do this," and it was, "Oh, look at this guy, whatever." And yeah, that's why I made it. So this video is like, I was like, I need to make it really clear. Like, this is why I'm doing this. This is who I am. This is the way I make my videos, and this is my intention. And so if I'm wrong, well, you can watch this, and that's it. But I'm at the point now, and there are things and there are theories that I just will not talk about. Now, maybe I will make those videos, but if I do, they will probably be member specific or member exclusive. Sorry. But the videos that I do make, like, bro, I made the Riven video and I was wrong about the heart being completely out of the picture. Like, that's my bad. But I even said, like, I don't know everything, and I just had played it yesterday. So I'm way looser on things now, right? But, yeah, it's, and here's the thing, right? And I'm being completely transparent with you. There was a time when I would think about just writing a script. And I just wouldn't feel good. Let's put it like that. I wouldn't feel good. Because all I could think about is like, what if I make this and then I just get dunked on? You know? And do you want to know, like, so why do you care what people, why do you care? Do you want to know the honest reason? Like, one of the big reasons why? Because there's a part of me that's just really passionate about the lore. And I just like sharing theories because I'm excited. And I just want to have fun. That's really it, right? But anyway, that's my my TED Talk over about that. But yeah, I did make this video way back when, and then yeah. And then I made a few videos when I was gone. So, oh, that's right, actually. I don't know how much I should say. There were reasons why I couldn't make videos on the main channel, and I couldn't really, but I really had the urges to, and so I did actually make videos, but I put them on my second channel. This is AI art, obviously, but it was just fun. And I think I made, what was it, this one? It was just for the giggles, right? That was for the second channel. I made this one. These. And I made these. Well, I mean, this is AI, but yeah. But anyway, that's like my thing on that. Anyway. Max. I told you about it. I showed it to you, dude. So, by the way, guys, I launched my memberships today, and part of that includes these emojis, and I made them myself, and they're so scuffed. But it is what it is. Imagine if Nezarec was the original king. That's my belief. That's my belief. Now you might be surprised in me saying this, but by Shadowkeep, the Witness definitely 100% existed, right? And also by Shadowkeep, the Nezarec stuff was still going on too. So I do think that the two characters are not, like, I don't think the Witness necessarily, like, I mean, he kind of did, but like, these are two separate characters. And the thing you need to understand is that I think Nezarec had a much greater connection to the Pyramid Race's culture and their society. The Witness was way more connected to the Sword Logic religion and the Veil and, you know, all of that. They represent two very different things, okay? Even the lore folks like Bife and Mylan for a second thought that too. I don't know thought which, but yeah. Perfectly said, at the end of the day, it's a video game story for our enjoyment. No need for silly. Yeah. But let me tell you this, Blair. People make their theories, and because they're really invested in the world, they become very invested in their theories, right? And they become very protective of them. And I've seen this happen. Somebody who isn't even being disrespectful or doesn't even know the other person exists, quite frankly, they will post their own theory. Hey guys, this is my theory about this. And for whatever reason, these people basically like feel, I guess, threatened or intimidated or insecure. And so they go after the person because of that. And I have seen a lot of theories, and people will jump through hoops to make their theory work. Okay? Like, let's take, for example, somebody who had a theory, and they said that the Witness was the winnower. You have to jump through hoops. Now, and by the way, this has been proven. Like, me saying the Witness is not the winnower, this is true, right? But like, that person back then even had to jump through hoops. Now, also, because of my debate mode, if I am making a theory and I have to jump through hoops to make it work, that's a very weak theory, and chances are it's not true. Okay? There's another thing you need to remember. And people, unfortunately, forget this, and I say this all the time. The main story of every campaign is not just made for the casual player. It's made for the casual player who doesn't even play the seasons. Whatever theory that you have, it needs to be basic enough to be put into a main campaign and to be understood by everybody, right? And before you say, well, like, yeah, so like if they put the winnower in the game, how, bro? They've had like what, 3 or 4 years. They introduced the winnower officially in Shadowkeep. They have had however many years since then. That's on them, okay? But and you wanna know what's all my Beyond Light narrative review? I talk about all of this. I don't just talk about Beyond Light. I talk about how Beyond Light affects the structure of the next, all of it. I literally predicted what happened in Witch Queen. I literally predicted that pyramid stuff that should have been in Beyond Light was going to get shoved into Witch Queen because, yeah. But anyway. How could Moth Mommy single-handedly win? I don't know. It's goofy. It's really goofy. Now, this is a separate note. But I don't like this whole making Savathûn a sympathetic character and a hero. Borderline hero. Okay? Savathûn saved us at the collapse. I don't care, bro. Do you understand how many billions Savathûn alone is responsible for killing? She deserves death. That's it. That's GG. Since they are trying to be unpredictable, and it's frustrating. Listen, if somebody like me or anybody else is able to use the lore that you give them, and we're able to kind of accurately predict the future, you're not just being unpredictable, you're basically doing misinformation. So let me give you an example. I used the lore to predict, and I said the pyramid ships are not the actual darkness. And I was told, well, no, because characters like the Ghost and Elsie say that they are. That's kind of like, that's not just Bungie trying to be unpredictable, it's borderline misinformation. And I talked about this in my previous stream. It's the whole gotcha thing that they want to do. Except they basically like artificially create it by intentionally misleading people away from what the answer is, right? So they did it with the pyramids. They did it with the witness, because people thought, oh, the witness is the actual darkness. It's not the actual darkness. And what was the third thing? Oh, the traveler being the gardener, like the actual gardener character. And for the record, like, that actually could end up happening. I'm not saying that there's no chance we go into final shape and it doesn't have. Oh, well, yeah, but then there's the veiled woman statue. That's the thorn in the side. I don't know, dude. I wonder if Nezarec will become the ruler or king of the Black Fleet if the witness puts him away. So here's the thing about Nezarec, okay? And I said this before, and I will make a video on him eventually, but I'm actually going to wait for final shape. Because I'm actually not completely convinced that Nezarec's not gonna, like, be mentioned at all in final shape. Yes, they retconned the original story. But I'm actually not convinced that they retconned who he is. Let me explain. We know nothing about Nezarec. We actually know nothing about Nezarec, officially, right? All we know is that he was betrayed by Savathun. And that now he was, like, people are like, oh yeah, your theory is so done because we saw what he looks like. Bro, they made him that body. It's a body for him to basically possess. Like, Nezarec is able to live without a body, it seems. Right? I mean, clearly. Because he's died and come back more than once. If they were to truly retcon him, and by the way, the dryer's back on, so I apologize for the rumbling. Aaron is at it again, guys. What can I say? If you get the reference, you get the reference. If they were really going to fully retcon Nezarec, nothing should have happened with the Whispers. And nothing should have happened with Whispers that were specifically attached to the pyramid ships. So is there a chance that in the future, Nezarec actually is, like, really connected to the race? I'm not going to rule it out. Am I going to say, yes, guys, it's still going to happen? I'm not going to say that because at the moment it seems like Bungie just dumped him, right? But it is what it is. And again, yeah, I'm really sorry about the dryer in the background, but it is what it is. It's annoying, but I don't know. I'm still going to crash your theories in the future. I'm going to assume that that's a smiley face. That's how I looked after talking about magnetism fields that were brought up months later. Yeah, exactly, bro. There's a Bife video saying that Savathun might have used Strand. And that doesn't even make sense. And I'm not trying to call out Bife, right? But, like, in Lightfall's marketing, they straight up said that we are the first people to ever get Strand. So, according to that theory is wrong. No, maybe, and no, here's the thing. I haven't seen Bife's video. If his video is based off of new lore that actually does link her to Strand, then that is on Bungie's side. But if it's just a theory, then I am going to disagree because, you know. And it's the same thing with the vase saying that the Final Shape Collector's Edition lore was actually about the Pyramid Race. I wanted it to be about the Pyramid Race. I was originally going to say it was a Pyramid Race, but when I actually looked into it, I have to disagree, and all the things add up that it's not true. If that ends up being the case, and they are the Pyramid Race, that is built on faulty lore. So, it is what it is. It's just connecting dots when there's a line between that makes... Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be back in 1 second, guys, because... Just 1 second. Bro, someday I'm gonna have my own apartment, and I'm gonna have a nice room, just a little room. I'm gonna put soundproof foam all over the walls. I'm gonna get a new microphone. The microphone is good, but I actually, there are things about it I really don't like. And I'm just, the experience is gonna be better. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't wait. Someday. I do love making some of my theories not airproof, but that does not mean I may or may not lay a trap. I don't know what you mean by that. Personal questions. Are you located in Europe? Yes. I live in Ireland. I do. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, bro, you say that you're in Ireland. You don't sound Irish. I know. I'm half American, half Irish. I have 2 passports. But I was born here. Yep. Is Aaron me, Tomios Aaron. Is Meshaben, Tommy. What is it? Fiha is a tree, Blinadish, August, yeah. Tome Imagoni, Kildara, August, sure, yeah, Shine. Sorry, excuse me speaking the dead language there for a second. People who believed their own theories which never came true are the ones responsible for... Yeah, true. Bro, I watched the ending, and then I watched like an 1.5-hour video explaining it, and now I'm like, okay, dude, yeah. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So remember, theories are theories, not a fiction you wish you could have followed. Exactly. Yes. I will give you it. I said it in the one video. If Nezarec ends up like never, like, or sorry, not never, but not being, okay, no, let me rephrase this. If the king and queen concept is still a thing, and it isn't Nezarec, right? I wonder if they became the witness, the 2 of them. That would explain the male voices and the female voices. Well, sorry, the main male voice and the main female voice. That would be cool. I'd be completely for that. I'd be completely for that. And you know what's funny? That alone would make me actually begin to care about the witness. How funny is that, dude? Because, and I said it to Marzir. I have 0 interest or any investment in the witness, and yet the last 3 expansions have been kind of focused on him. Or sorry, this one coming up and in the last 2. And they've basically turned the Light and Darkness saga into the saga of the witness, where 2 out of the 3 expansions were filled with vague information, if anything. I might be protective of the State and Cut or Destiny we will never see, but it doesn't mean I'm attacking Europe. But yeah, exactly, of course. Of course. Bungie is definitely making Savathun more sympathetic. Yeah. Oh, really? Awesome. Why did she... I know, dude. It's... And I think... I just think... How do I say this? I think that... I think they really like the character. And... I don't know. It's just... It triggers me because it's the same thing with Aramis, where it's very obvious that they're going to make Aramis into a good guy. Right? It is what it is. I don't know. I'm just a bit more... With my morality, I'm just a little bit more black and white. Like, when I roleplay in games, like Baldur's Gate or whatever, like, I always want to be, like, the paladin character. And, like, even with Nezarec, dude, I'm a Nezarec simp. Not like that, but you know what I mean. As soon as Nezarec's no longer useful to us, I would 100% kill him. Yeah, the dude led the collapse against the city. Yes, kill him. Be done with it. Bring it on. My theory for Nezarec is that he's dead, and the Witness wanted to get the parts for him back to stop him from coming back. Because Nezarec was actually powerful enough to stand against the Witness. And I say that not just because I'm a fanboy, but because his artifacts have, and I quote, pure darkness in them. No other character has that. You open the artifact, you disintegrate. That's a powerful character. And also the fact that it's darkness, and yet Nezarec also has the void. Like that's like he's a powerful character. And the idea is that we basically unleash Nezarec on the Witness as like an attack dog, and it's the lesser of two evils, where it's like, yes, we have beef with you, but we will let you do whatever. It's basically Thor in Thor Ragnarok with Surtur or whatever his name is, where he like brings the guy back to life so that he can beat Hela. It's literally that. GG. It's literally the same. There was even a prophecy that he was going to do it. Nezarec had a prophecy where he would come back to life and he would be around for the end of, like, the beginning of the new universe. Watch it be the whispers belong to Net. It can't be it can't be Nezarec if they're talking about Nezarec. It's still goofy, man. It's still goofy. It's I'm sorry. And the thing as well, right, is no, I don't know this lore and I haven't seen the video, so I'm, keep that in mind. From the way that sounds, it sounds like, okay, she went into this thing to kill Nezarec, but, she ended up using Strand by accident. That's not how Savathun works. Savathun literally has a backup plan for everything. If she didn't believe that she was strong enough to kill Nezarec by, like, backstabbing him and catching him off guard, then, like, no. So if she uses Strand, then she knew about Strand. Savathun doing something by accident and being like, oh my goodness, where did this come from? I have no idea. There's, like, never been an instance where Savathun did that. Never. Bro, she literally planned her death, resurrection, and how to get her memories back as a guardian. She literally put the egg where we would find it so that we would resurrect her again. It's like, literally, she knows everything. So it goes against the character then. But again, I have not read the lore. It's whatever. I'm just saying. So I'm guessing that you're from the UK then. We need to visit you for some Irish beer. So fun fact, I don't drink at all. But I've heard that Guinness... I know that... I've heard some people say that they love Guinness. And I know there's like one guy and all he drinks is Guinness. And he's not even Irish. But I know other people say that it's like disgusting. So, but I don't know. I don't touch the stuff personally. Am I a northerner? No, I'm not. I'm in the south. Really? That's interesting. So, when I talk to Irish people, they're like, dude, you have an American accent. When I go to America, they're like, you have an Irish accent. So, it is kind of... So, in my opinion, I think the tone of my voice is more American, but the way that I pronounce certain words might be in the Irish kind of area. And yes, there are known people in Russia. Yeah, of course. I'm half Scottish, half English, but I'm a bit of Irish. I'm almost as white as you can be, lol. Who's this guy? Will of the Lore. Who is this guy? I want to sleep on a cloud. Out of your voice. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or a... Dude, I don't like my voice at all. My voice sounds cringe. I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. But if you're saying that because you like it, then thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry. Felix. That's funny though. I want to sleep on a cloud made out of your voice. Bruh. I remember there was that one person, was it Scarlet or somebody? And they like changed their name to be like Disciple of Venextron or some crap like that. It was like, I was like, oh, that person likes my videos, but it was kind of uncomfortable. I was like, what am I getting into here? Bro, we're back at it again with the lurkers sneaking up and then coming in with the one-liners. Knight, this is the first time that I have seen you here, but I am really glad that you are here. Same with you, Will. I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. And Knight, thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Sounds like a guy from Ohio. Bro, we were having a wholesome moment, and you're putting me in the... I don't know. When I don't know, honestly, when I was trying to think of... Because, like, you know, Florida is, like, the alligator place. When I tried to think of Ohio, I just thought about the back rooms. But anyway. So what are your current thoughts on Season of the Wish? Hey, Walter, how you doing? Oh, bro. I kind of... So, by the way, I have 2 minutes and then I gotta go to bed, right? I have a really strict cutoff point. But, long story short... And by the way, guys, if anybody's coming in later, when this stream ends, tomorrow I am going to edit basically the main part of the stream, which is the extended discussion where I go deep into the topic of the video. I will edit that and I will upload it as its own video, right? So if you're missing things, that'll be there tomorrow. And I go in depth. I do go really in depth on, yeah. 20 people. Yeah, exactly, dude. The back rooms, indeed. Thank you for the hearts, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, basically, Will, I'll give you a really brief summary. The season's okay so far. It has potential to be better, but I actually break down for the main story with Riven and all of that. It has 5 really major flaws that kind of ruin it for anybody who knows about them. So things like Mara and Crow or Osiris or anybody else, things that are separate from the main story, those have potential to be really good this season. But the main stuff overall is just kind of like, I don't know. But anyway, before I go, my goal is to get a video for you on Friday, and that is going to be about basically my opinion on what the ending of the franchise will be, which is us being the true final shape, right? Because there's a lot of different final shapes out there, sure, but we are going to be the final shape. That's my opinion. At the same time, in the video that I released today, I have launched my channel memberships today, and so part of the one perk for members is exclusive videos, and they're nothing fancy, but I will start also rolling out those. I have one video out already, and then I have basically like a kind of like an introduction video where I talk about just my plans for videos in the future that'll be for members. And so my goal, I will say my goal is, if everything goes to plan, I would really love to be able to give members 4 exclusive videos a week. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And again, they're not like the same quality as like the main videos, because I'm still trying to get just the 3 main ones in, right? But as time goes on, I'm gonna lean more into that and improve the quality for you guys as much as I can. But yeah. Oh, dude, I know. I feel that. But anyway, I literally like I don't really get much. I don't get, well, not much, but I don't get good sleep. And I actually managed to get up early today, and then all day I was just making videos and I was editing. So I am tired, and I don't know what tomorrow's gonna be. So Tuesday and Thursday were originally planned to be longer stream days, but the reset, or not the reset, the launch of Season of the Wish, the stream didn't really go well, and I was, and I don't actually know if like longer streams where like I'm playing the game is something that you guys really enjoy, as opposed to this type of a stream. So I don't know if I will do a longer stream tomorrow or not. I don't know. So tomorrow is kind of up in the air, but we'll see. I don't know. I might only, even if I do stream, I might only do 2 hours or something. We'll see. But yeah, Friday should be a video coming out, and yeah, and again, the dungeon comes out Friday too, so the video is definitely coming out. But as for like this extended discussion stream, I don't know, because I think for me the dungeon is kind of the priority, because I've got plans with my friends and stuff like that. I could stream that probably, but it's whatever, we'll see. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you everybody who was here. I really appreciate all of you, and I look forward to doing this every single time. And yeah, for those of you who are here late, there will be the edited VOD up tomorrow. And yeah, with all that being said, I will talk to you guys later.